.47, right? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, episode 47.
Oh yeah. All right. G'day, guys. We're back. We missed last week because of our family things that was going on and just hectic stuff throughout the week, and just stuff.
What hectic stuff though?
I don't know. Just life.
Well, actually,
stuff.
it's my fault.
It was your fault.
I had some family issues that I had to sort out. So thank you for allowing us to push you back a week, Maxine.
Thank you, Max. So tonight, episode 47, we've got Maxine on, who's a local voice around Perth and has been to America and done this and done that and won a few competitions and all sorts of stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
And then also in 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, we're going to do a live thing with our very first live guest.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's the first time we're doing a live performance, so I apologize to anyone listening, and it's me if it sounds bad, all right?
You guys should have seen it. We spent 20 minutes. 20 minutes trying to sort it out because of the delay and all this and all that. But yeah. So, what got you into singing? What is singing like, a whole lot?
Oh, man. I don't think it's something that you learn to love.
Hey, Maxine, could you do me a favor and just pull your microphone a bit closer? Like a fist and a half away from your mouth.
Yeah, like
Thank
that?
you.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. No, so I don't think it's something that you kind of learn to love. I think it's something that you just have in you. A love for music, a love for dance, a love for sport, whatever that is. But I mean, I don't think I'll ever forget growing up. I always had a really big music family. So my granddad, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister, we all sang. We all would sing at annoying times you probably shouldn't sing, way too loud in the shower, therefore your showers were prolonged somewhat. But I've just always had that sort of musical background, and I'm very lucky, and it is something that I really do cherish, and it's something that I think has gotten me through a lot of different points in my life. If you're upset, if you want to vent,
music.
Get into your car and belt out a song and belt out a big power ballad or something.
I got a bit of a question. Might be a little bit left of field, but do you think singing is a talent you're born with or something that you can learn to do?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think you can definitely train a voice. You can be taught different techniques. So how to hit the right pitch, how to train your tonality in your voice, how to nurture a voice to life. I think if you are born with a good voice, that's definitely a helping hand.
Right.
But yeah, so Yes and no.
Yeah.
I suppose hardcore question to answer.
I wonder how you tell like little Timmy. I'm sorry, Timmy, your voice sucks. You're never gonna
Just
sing.
like Lady Gaga, it's like you're born with it, right? Didn't she do
Or
something
so
like
she
that?
said.
Born this way.
Born this way,
Yeah.
yes. Not born with it, born this way, yeah.
True. Although I have seen some, or I should say, heard some singers that have like very interesting voices that wouldn't necessarily be considered like, oh, that's an
Well,
amazing voice. or
What's
anything
that
like
that girl that did Dance Monkey? What's her name?
Tones and I.
Yeah,
Tones
Tones
and
and
I.
I. She's got such a unique
Yeah,
voice, and
very
it
much so.
works. But she gets a lot of hate for it, even though she's got such a unique voice. Like
It's going to be personal opinion, you know. So what I might think is a really nice sounding voice, you might hate, and vice versa.
well, that's it, and it can come down to like accents, come down to anything in a way.
Yeah.
You know, like some people just don't like the Irish accent. Well, I don't mind it. You know, that's the whole thing, right?
I take it as a challenge to try to understand it.
Yeah, well, that's it. But then it's also because, like, you know, when it comes to singing, using your vocal cords, like you can, depending on where you're from and your accent, you can just sound so good, but so unique at the same time. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so when you're saying with like, you know, your brothers and like, you know, extended periods of time in the shower, like singing and stuff like that. So what was your introduction into music? Like your favorite artists when you were growing up, and like,
If I actually
it's
had to
such a
say,
big question.
if I had to say somebody which artist made me kind of get or find my love for singing, I always remember I was sitting at home on the couch, and I don't know how we got the video or how I got to watching it, but I was watching Delta Goodrem do a live performance, just sitting there with a piano and singing and belting out the song. I said, that's what I'm going to do. So I remember that was my first memory of me going, that's someone who I want to aspire to towards. Having said that, though, I've always found my love for kind of jazz and the old school and where music began. And I always remember watching Disney movies. I'm not sure if you guys know it. It's Aristocats. It's around the same sort of time as Lion King.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this before you rocked up. We were
No way.
considering whether we wanted to show
up.
some of the movie, but
No.
we're like, it's
Pull
up a
Disney.
few
They're going to
stills.
copyright us straight away.
No, but I love that. I love the old, like, the jazz cat. And I've loved that since I was little. I mean, I moved here when I was 3 from South Africa, and I'm pretty sure my first memory was when I was 5 of watching that. And it would be something I'd come home every day. My mum would have the videotape rewound with a sandwich ready to go in the afternoon, good to go before my dad got home, and then I'd quickly go do my homework and make it look like
Sounds like a
that's
good
what I've been
mum.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just awesome. Shout out. I think she's probably watching. So hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum.
Yeah, but I think it's just that's probably my earliest memories. So Delta Goodrem and Aristocats, that's kind of what got me into it, and then I just flowed on from there. And I think initially when you learn how to sing, or when you do anything, you'll imitate someone. So you'll kind of copy what they do, and through that you'll find your own way, you'll find your own voice, your own style.
So who were you imitating when you were younger?
Oh, I definitely started with Delta.
Right.
Then I went on to Vanessa Amorosi. I loved Absolutely Everybody.
Vanessa Amorosi? Can you Google? I don't. Yeah.
You know the song like Absolutely Everybody.
Oh wow, yeah,
Everybody,
yeah.
Everybody.
I need to get that song. I haven't got that track.
Such a good
And
song.
that's a banger as well.
It is. So yeah, then I started copying her, and I loved the fact that she had a really rich, powerful voice. And I think that's where I started to go, okay, let me see if I can do the big, juicier songs. And then I would do those, and then I would start listening to Aretha, then Etta James, then all the really big old school powerhouses. Whitney.
Aretha Franklin was amazing back in the day.
Jeez.
Yeah. So good with Think and like Respect and the whole lot. Just absolute powerhouse.
Unbelievable. Yeah, but then as I said, like you've got the likes of Whitney coming through as well, who completely changed the face of music and kind of what that meant as well. So yeah, I mean, we're so lucky to have such amazing people to aspire to and to look up to, and just, you know, in general, just some amazing talent in the world.
Speaking about Whitney, isn't she famous for her, what are they called, whistle notes? Is that what they're called?
Notes?
Yeah, her
Yeah.
and Mariah of Mariah Carey.
Mariah,
Yeah, very, very, very famous.
So a whistle note? What's
whistle note, yeah.
Yeah, so probably, another one is Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
You can get these really, 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 really high notes that it's like, it doesn't actually sound like it's a vocal note.
Sounds like a whistle rather than a vocal note. That's why I call it a whistle note.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah, it makes
There's
sense with the name.
there's
but-
a song, I can't even remember what the song is. I've drawn a blank, but Mariah Carey does this, and she's like and it's this really high whistle note. She just hits it throughout. It's awesome. No, but there's a very, very small amount of people who actually have that ability.
Yeah, and I can imagine it would pretty much stress your voice out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. I don't have that.
Yeah. Have you ever tried whistle notes?
Yeah, tried it.
Yeah.
Failed dismally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then that's when you start having your coughing fit, and then you just leave it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So do you get like kind of a bit of a pain in your throat kind of thing when you
sometimes it's like if you try scream really loud and your voice will crack. It's that sort of thing. But then you try push through the crack and it's not fun.
Oof,
no,
okay.
so it's not. But everyone's got it's basically referred to as your mix. So the best way I can describe it is, imagine two triangles. So you've got one triangle that's pointing up, and you've got another triangle that's pointing down, and they overlap. And at that little bit where they overlap, that's where vocally you are not comfortable. So I'll start singing in my chest voice, my lower register, and then I'll kind of work my way up through into my head voice. But there's this little transition section that some people's voices, or a lot of people's voices, it just doesn't work nicely. Yeah. So you kind of have to figure out how to hop, skip, and jump around it. Yeah. Which is obviously something you learn as you practice and sing. And
well, that'd just be like learning your voice in a way, right?
Exactly right.
And figuring out what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
But then, so have you had any teachers, or have you learned? Like, how did you learn all this? Like...
I think in like primary school, I just started singing in the school choir. Very early on, figured out I actually really enjoy this, and then I said, Mum, I'd like to do piano lessons because I wanted to be Delta Goodrum and play my piano. And then all of a sudden I then said, okay, actually I also want to do singing lessons now. I've got my piano. I can read the 4 chords. I'm set. I will now want to do my singing. And so started doing that, and then eventually kept pursuing that through school, through just general singing lessons, and then eventually, I actually went through and applied to get into the Gifted and Talented program at John Curtin College of the Arts.
Yep.
Was lucky enough to be accepted. So then I studied in theory, Western art music. So
can you pull up John Curtin, Mitch? Because whereabouts is that? It's
in Fremantle.
It's in Fremantle.
Yeah. And I lived north, very north. So past Joondalup. So I would trek out to Fremantle every day. But,
really? So it would be like an hour trek kind of thing?
Yeah, around about that. An hour and a half or so. So
that's
a couple of trains and buses and a bit of a walk. So yeah.
That's dedication. To
but the level of teaching there vocally and just the teaching of the arts there is fantastic. They've got dance programs, drama programs, music theatre. Strangely enough, they also have a soccer program on unrelated note. But it is soccer really program. Fantastic.
Yeah, they got everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Some outstanding artists and performers and just beings have come out of that school. So
have you do you know much about WAPA?
I know a little bit.
Yeah. How do you know much about like how WAPA compares with the
John Curtin?
WAPA would be on another level.
Right.
So it's the same as going to a high school versus a university. I mean, you'll scratch the surface in high school.
Right. So
in your uni,
John Curtin's it's a high school, is it?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went up to the year 12 there. Did consider applying for WAPA. It is something that I kind of think back on and think, oh, maybe should I have done it. I can still go back and do it. I am someone who I learn by doing. And something that was embedded into me very early on is, you can sit in this classroom, in a school classroom, and be lectured and taught and told how to do something, or you can go out and do it, and you can learn that way. And to me, that's something that I do a lot better. I learn by doing. I learn by going out and doing a competition and going, okay, I didn't necessarily nail that song the way I wanted to have done it. Okay, let me work on it. Either that's not the right song for me, that's not the way I should be singing that song. How do I change this? And that's just my personal style. I mean, everyone else is different.
I think it's the same with every creative,
creative
arts, anything. It's practice makes perfect. Same with DJing,
Absolutely.
Same with singing, I guess. Same with
just anything,
painting, the whole lot.
Drawing. How the hell do we manage to do
Great
that?
minds think alike, maybe.
I guess, yeah.
Something like that.
Jinx.
Couple of Van Goghs right here.
But then, so that was just up until year 12 then. And then so you did some classes actually with singing and everything like that through when you were doing that. And how was that? Like, how would you actually, because I mean, you haven't done university level, but was it did you get what you wanted out of it in a way?
I did, yeah. I mean, look, I'd still love to learn more, and you can never ever stop learning. But what it did teach me was why my voice would do something and how I could manipulate my voice to do what I wanted it to do. So as I said, I studied the theory side of things. I did Western art music, so all of your Beethoven, Mozart, really the kind of the basis of where music came from. I had a fascination in that from the perspective of how did we get to the stuff we've got today? Yeah. But then I would study in practice contemporary jazz and that sort of thing. So and vocally,
contemporary is just like classics,
like more
right?
modern, modern, like modern,
okay.
So
yeah.
I would do those kinds of songs in the practical side, and then I do like your old school stuff in the theoretic side. But the level of trainers that you have there is just outstanding. I remember there was one teacher specifically, and I don't remember her name, but I do remember she had the most insane hair. It was awesome. And every time she got
wait, were you being taught by Miss Frizzle?
No,
you didn't get to go on the Magic School Bus?
I didn't.
Damn, sorry.
Look, she was a close second, like
right,
probably cousins.
Right.
Not fat sisters, cousins.
See, I never watched that. Ever.
Miss Frizzle and Miss Frizze.
Yeah.
You just got Miss Frizze.
I got Miss Frizze. Twice.
Sorry about the bad jokes.
Removed.
I'll shut up.
No, but she was very much more of the like classical type of vocal coach. And she conducted all the choirs. Her level of understanding of music was just unbelievable. And then she kind of said to me, okay, look, I know you love your lower register. I love singing all the low jazzy bluesy like that kind of song, but she goes, let's train your upper register. And I was like, I don't want to do it because I don't like the way it sounds. And she goes, we're going to teach it. We're going to teach you how to manipulate your voice, how to warm your vocal cords up in a way that will allow you to get those notes that you want to get. So I take my hat off to her. Miss Sullivan. That's it. There you go.
Sullivan.
Thanks, Miss Sullivan.
Shout out to Miss Sullivan.
I'm not sure if she's watching, but yeah. So she really did teach me how to kind of make the most of the range that I have, and she actually improved my range. So if I had maybe 2 octaves before, maybe I have 2.5 to 3 now. So she really kind of taught me that side of things. And then I had another one where I did more of the jazz practice. And that was very much somebody who said, okay, look, let's teach you how to make a song your own. Let's teach you how to scat. Let's teach you how to do those cool, like grunty notes up into a higher note, which is the jazz side, or is the jazz, kind of like characteristics. So that was really cool. I loved getting at something that you wouldn't just look at a video, which is what I had done growing up, and try imitate it and then try tweak it to make it my own. I really was taught this is how you make it your own, and this is what you would take from it to make it your own. It was awesome. I loved that.
No, that sounds amazing. But then like, when you actually went to go and like get taught it kind of thing, like how do you reach another octave in a way? Because like when you're saying like warming your vocal cords, is it kind of like growing your vocal cords in a way? Like, is it like a process to be able to reach? Like, because then like if you don't practice enough, then you might not be able to reach.
Yeah. So if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah. So stupid exercises, but you really want to relax your vocal cords. You want to make sure that you have lots of water, keep them like hydrated. But then you kind of want to like imagine if you've gone to the gym and you've worked a muscle and the muscle's very sore. Okay, if you don't stretch that muscle out, it's not going to get better. So you need to stretch it, you need to push it, you need to help it relax. Same sort of thing with the vocal cords. You need to make sure that you carefully stretch them. So don't stretch the muscle too tight because you could tear it. So just gently tug at the vocal cords, gently.
Similar to going to the gym, like you don't want to overdo it because then you'll be like in bed for like a couple of days, like writhing in pain. But
yeah, exactly right. So yes, you can. There's only ever going to be so much that your voice will do, yes, but you can definitely help encourage it to get bigger.
To be able to reach certain parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then when you go to do that, would it be just, practicing specific songs that have that frequency?
It would be
in a way?
Scales,
okay.
Scales, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Like
really?
Up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you try go like a little bit more, and then you'd go up a little bit, da 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 da, and you just keep going up, and eventually one day you go, oh, I hit that note. I didn't hit that 2 days ago. So yeah, it's just practice. It's hard work, and I probably have lost some since I was actually studying in school. Obviously, I was doing vocal lessons 3 times a week. And I haven't done a vocal lesson in 2 years.
I want to see this, Alex. I want to see you do your vocal cord.
Me?
Yeah. Start really low and go up, and we'll see how high you can go.
I don't even know if I know all of them. Do, re. What is it?
Just go.
Help me out.
Yeah, like that. And then you're gonna keep going higher and higher. That's one octave, like, and then
So I have to like break my voice as well. Like, oh.
Yeah. Exactly right.
ready, go, Alex. Come on, I want to see where your voice breaks.
I've already done it though.
No, you have to do it the whole way.
No, I don't know if I can do it the whole way though.
All right,
Mitch
I'll leave you
can't-
alone.
I
You
can't
look
do it the
like a
whole
little
way.
puppy.
I am so tired. Sorry guys, I've partied too hard on the weekend.
Speaking of which, we were talking about like ways of like you don't want to injure your voice. Obviously, have you ever had a vocal injury, and how would you deal with that?
And they can be permanent as well, can't they? Sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally, I'm lucky enough to say I haven't. I've lost my voice a few times. Actually, kind of works that this was postponed because I'd lost my voice a couple weekends ago, so this is a blessing in disguise. But yeah, no, I've heard a lot of people have had some really bad vocal cord injuries, and yeah, you can really do a lot of damage. So if you aren't careful, you are gonna put strain on the vocal cords, and yeah, you do have to be careful. It's a muscle. It's the same as every other muscle in your body. If you tear a muscle, yes, it'll repair, but it might not ever be the same. You might have to work at it. You might have to figure out how to do something differently to how you would have done it before because of the injury. So yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, touch wood. That's it.
wood.
Like, that's one of the last things you ever want to do, right? I guess. Like,
yeah.
but it'd be all fun and games, and you love doing it. But then you do that once, and then
That's what I was saying before. Like we were talking about like the risks involved with being a singer versus say, I don't know, a DJ, for example.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I related back to a DJ is because I myself and Alex are DJs.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
But like obviously we know our music theory as well.
Yeah.
You have to learn that to learn how to mix songs. You need to know how they're structured, how
How
they're
to do it
created,
in
how to
key.
mix in key, how to mix harmonically, how to play with frequencies, all that kind of stuff. But the difference is if something goes wrong, like with your instrument, it's just your instrument, it's replaceable.
It's a technical thing you can
Whereas when you're a singer, your instrument is your voice.
Yeah.
And as soon as that's screwed, it's almost all over sometimes.
Have you met anybody that has actually damaged their vocal cords?
I can't say personally I know anyone. I know that when I competed a year ago, one of the contestants I was meant to be competing with actually got strep throat, which exactly what it is I should probably know, but I don't. I do know it's an extremely bad infection of.
Can you
of the
Google
throat.
this medical thing?
I think it's strep.
Let's
There you
see
go.
if the guru can find it.
Strep throat is a bacterial infection that can make your throat feel sore and scratchy.
Oh.
Strep throat accounts for only a small portion of sore throats. If untreated, strep throat can cause complications such as kidney inflammation or rheumatic fever.
Or
there you
rheumatic
go.
fever. Don't get rheumatic fever, guys.
Testing my English language right there.
Yeah. So yeah, I knew someone. I had never actually ended up meeting him though, because he was very sick and didn't want to pass it on to us, so he stayed in his room.
Oh, so it's contagious as well.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, well, it's like a flu.
Oh, that's not good. So then, leading on to that, so contestants. So, what were you? Where were you? What were you doing? Let's go into what you've done.
Let's go down that pathway. So last year, July, I was lucky enough to be able to compete in something called the Voice of Flight Centre. So basically Flight Centre every year have a global ball, and it's your top achievers. But it's not only it's the way to get in is not only going and doing outstanding results. It is also, there's a few other bits and bobs that you can apply to get into, or apply eventually get yourself through to the global ball. And last year, a few of the guys around my office and like in my area said, hey, why don't you give The Voice a go and see if you can get in there. And I didn't think about it strictly because I didn't actually realize they were doing it again, because they had done it the year before. I thought, oh, wow, that's awesome. And my head wasn't at the mentality of going, I'm going to go in on The Voice, because I hadn't really seen any advertising for it. So
just quickly as well, what is The Voice? Because I don't watch commercial TV.
you know when they sit there and they turn the chairs around.
kind of. So with
So-
the guy
It's a
from
Contestants will
Australian
come on to stage, and the judges will have their backs turned so they can't see the singer.
Idol. Okay.
They will sing their song, and during
they
the song,
like
and
they
that's
can.
the X and tick thing.
Yeah,
right?
they-
yeah.
No, that's
No,
X Factor.
That's X Factor.
The voice
The
is
voice
they
is where
can
like
choose.
it's like
Yeah.
the chair turn. So the idea of it is that you don't look at someone and make an assumption of them of whether or not they're going to be marketable or if they're the right face. They're like, okay, is this the voice we want to hear? Is this voice marketable?
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, the more you learn, right?
Yeah, there you go.
In a
But
way.
it's the voice.
It's probably been on TV for a long time, right?
Yeah.
What was the show again? It was a Flight Center thing.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
Flight Center basically just called it the voice of Flight Center.
Yeah.
So you had to put in a online submission. So you had to wear something red in Flight Center fashion, which was actually this jumper. Now
Right,
that I'm
there
thinking
we
about
go.
it, you had to wear something red. You had to do a minute clip to show your voice to the best ability of what you think you could do in a minute. Send it off. And pray. I didn't actually hear anything back from the cut-off date. So I was like, okay, clearly I'm not in. But then they turned around and they said, sorry guys, there has been a delay. Something happened. There was a few days delay. It was in the change room at Myers and I was trying something on for an event that I had coming up. And I'm sat there and this whatever it was I was trying on was questionably tight, or it was just an awkward like garment to get into. And I just remember my phone ringing and I'm looking at, I'm like half in my whatever it was I was trying to try on, and I looked down and I think, I don't know that number, but something's just telling me to answer the phone. Picked it up and like, hello. She goes, hi Maxine, my name's Louise. I'm calling from wherever it was she was calling from, CI events. I was like, oh yeah, okay, hi, how you going? She's like, yeah, really good. By the way, do you have an active passport? I said, yeah, why? Still not in my head thinking what's actually happening because I'm trying to focus on not ripping this top or whatever it was I was trying. She goes, oh great, cool, you're going to Vegas next week. I was like, wow,
Just
okay.
like that. There's no like second
Yeah.
round. It was just like straight to Vegas.
No, so
Damn.
what they did is out of all those videos that they had submitted, they picked 5 finalists, and I was they didn't necessarily do it by any place of the world, they just picked 5 finalists. So there was myself from Australia, 2 people from New Zealand, and it was actually one of those guys that got strep throat, a guy from South Africa and a girl from the UK. So we all got flown to Vegas. We stayed at the MGM Grand Hotel, which is unbelievable. And we went to the venue and it was awesome. We had the star treatment. They picked us up in limos. It was great. But obviously it was July, so it was winter here, summer over there, and it was in the middle of the desert. So it's really summer.
Yeah.
So going out of the hot, cold, on airplanes, into aircon, out of aircon, into the heat, all of us got sick.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so we all woke up the morning of the competition and we didn't say a thing to each other. We were like, can you
Yikes.
talk? No. Can you talk? No.
No.
So we were running around the MGM Grand and it has all these different food courts and things like that. We find a Starbucks and we get tea, so honey and lemon tea, because it just soothes the throat. And we were just sucking that down, trying not to say anything, trying to warm up, so not to damage the vocal cords when we do actually sing. So that was an interesting morning, but yeah, so we went through, we did a few test runs, and we kind of all had one song that we were going to sing together, but we all had different parts in the song. So it was essentially, you'd sing a little bit here, you'd sing a little bit here, then we'd all sing together, then another person would sing here, another person would sing there, and at the end there'd be a vote of a few of the members. So I think there were like 3 or 4 people who actually cast the vote. We weren't told what we were competing for. Until we were standing on stage in a little box that was kind of hidden. And I was so nervous just trying to figure out, don't forget my words, don't mess up, just keep it cool. So I'm in my own head trying to keep myself cool.
Is this the first time you had performed at a venue such as this?
No, I'd performed at the Burswood Dome.
Yep.
So that was a fairly big venue as well. Although once again, I didn't know how many people were there until the lights went
How
from
are the
the
nerves
stage.
though when you're like, you're standing backstage, you're about to like go on.
Going like
Yeah.
you can honestly feel like you're gonna hurl. You got butterflies in your stomach, frog in your throat. You get the first few notes out and you're like, okay, all right. I think it's the anticipation,
Yeah.
But yeah, we were standing in this little box and all of a sudden they start saying, okay, so these guys haven't actually been told what they're gonna be, what they'll win if they win. So let's tell you all now. And So now there's only 4 of us in this little box because one of the other guys, obviously, as I said, was sick. They said, okay, cool. The winner of the competition is going to win for 2 flights, accommodation, tickets to the Grammys, and spending money.
I think I know where this is heading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the whole mateship, I'm just happy to be here, went out the window.
Yeah.
My competitive side came out because I'm not competitive. I just like to win. And then, it was game on. So
I'm not competitive. I just like to win.
Just casually.
It's different.
Yeah.
Then I considered pushing a few of the contestants off stage. I didn't. I feel as though I did. I crossed a bridge there morally. Went on to stage. Thanks. Went on to stage. They kind of introduced us. And then we start singing. And we started at the top of a flight of stairs. I'm wearing a very tight dress that goes right down mid shin, and it's very restrictive. So I had a very small range of movement and extremely high heels. And as I start singing, I'm actually walking downstairs with this dress, with the microphone in hand, with these high heels, trying to remember my words, remember to breathe, and with little to no voice. So there was a lot going on in my head, and eventually, so as I said, you start singing the first few notes and you're good. And I got there, and it's just, that's honestly where I'm at my happiest, is when I'm on stage. And I can perform in front of thousands of people, and I'll get nervous. You put me in front of 4 or 5 people, and then I'm like, no. Because I think it's because you're going to hear.
It's a bit more intimate that way, right? You can actually look into people's eyes and see their reactions. Whereas if you're in front of 10,000 people, you're not focused on every individual. There's a crowd there.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it
It's
is.
a similar thing with DJing as well, though, because then it's like, it's like if you're playing in front of 1,000 people, well, then if 500 people are having a good time, well, then they're probably just going to try and make the others have a good time, kind of thing.
And a lot of the time, the others will just join along because they don't want to seem like
exactly. They're just standing out. It's but it's all just part of the vibe, part of the atmosphere in a way.
Yeah. So
how many people were actually at that in Las Vegas?
I want to say 3,000 to 4,000, give or take.
That's still pretty cool, though. That's a lot of people.
It was a fairly big venue, and I'm just trying to remember the name of the venue.
Somewhere in Vegas.
It's in Vegas. I know that Lady Gaga had performed 2 weeks before that, so I was on the same stage as Gaga, which is awesome.
What's your opinion of Gaga, by the way?
I actually think she's very underrated.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think when she first came out, I wasn't a huge fan. I didn't like the whole.
She was very commercial pop sort of stuff.
Very much so. And I think it was a whole big marketing scheme, but that wasn't her.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was either the Grammys or the Arias, she ended up performing. And I remember she came out and did a song from The Sound of Music. And I just looked at her in a completely different light. The vocal cords that woman has is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very much underrated. And I think now she's kind of getting into her own style, which is awesome. So yeah, no, I think she's amazing.
Yeah, which is good because she's just been so commercial for such a long time, and now it's doing what she kind of wants to do in a way.
Exactly right.
Especially after when she brought the meat dress to the Grammys. Or,
oh my gosh,
whatever that was. She's got balls doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like her agent just told her to do that. Let's be honest.
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, look, personally, that's not my first outfit choice when I wake up in the morning. I'm going to put on a meat suit today.
Yeah, steak,
but each to their own.
It was to make a statement, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Something
sure
like
for
that,
like animal cruelty or something like that.
Yeah,
and
animal
RSPCA and stuff.
Probably wasn't even real meat.
Maybe.
I feel like if you're going to make a statement about animal cruelty, you're not going to make a real meat dress.
Yeah.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Defeat the purpose,
Maybe, yeah. It'd probably have to be synthetic or something.
Plus, it would smell like shit after 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a fairly hot venue. You've got big stage lights on there. You start
Sorry,
cooking.
Maxine's mum. This is an M-rated show, so we're allowed to drop a couple F-bombs, so you might hear a few.
Oh, yeah. So then what else have you done as well? Because you said Burswood. Well, also with Las Vegas. So what did you actually, before we get to Burswood, so what was Las Vegas like? Did you love it? Was it?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Las Vegas is very commercial. I mean, everyone goes there to gamble and have a really, really good time.
Did you gamble at all?
No, because I was stone cold broke when I went there because I was told the week before that I was going and I was like, I haven't been paid and I've just blown everything that I had. So, no, I didn't really. And to be fair, then I was actually quite sick. So later that night, so in the morning we had the conference, which is where I sang, and then we had the actual ball. So kind of went to the ball. We had some outstanding performers. I think we had Calvin Harris at the as one of our guest performers, which was amazing.
Oh wow.
So I'm sitting there like jamming to Calvin Harris with nothing coming out because my voice is gone. Wake up the next morning and there's nothing. I sound like I've smoked 20 packs. So yeah, unfortunately that wasn't the best experience, just because I did get sick. But before
still,
it was
What about the
unbelievable.
Grammys?
Oh,
Yeah, how were the Grammys? Like,
that was something else.
well, what was it like? Like, did you get called on stage and it's like you won kind of thing?
No.
Like,
What for in Vegas?
Yeah, in
So
Vegas.
in Vegas, they literally like we finished singing the song. We sang "Come Together" by the Beatles, which
That's
is really
a
cool.
banger. I love
Yeah,
that
it was
song.
really good. But I'd never heard that specific song before, so I'm listening to these lyrics and I'm thinking, what is going on? What are they thinking? And then I started singing it. I'm like, actually, this is a really cool song. But yeah, so we had finished singing the song, and then they brought out the previous year's winner. And she was kind of just saying, you know, this was really fun, and we had all arranged to do an encore song, which she was going to join in on, which was by Queen.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Tub Thumping by Chubbawamba, but
I didn't
we
know
can
that
all
song.
dream, right?
Yeah.
I get knocked down.
Oh.
Knocked up again.
Oh, is that song? All right.
Jeez. But yeah, then they brought out this really, really cool, kind of like Grammy big, like gold disc, and it was all framed, and it just said the voice of 2019, and or the voice of Flight Center 2019, and I kind of, because we all only had a very little snippet to sing, it was going to be very close as to, and every single one of those guys that I competed with had an absolutely outstanding voice, so it could have been anyone's game, and they said it, and they said, oh, you know, the winner is Maxine, and
Then it's just
I
like,
think
oh,
I think
wait
I took a minute, and then I think I did a little jump on the stage towards
Yeah.
the big gold plate, and they presented me with the award, and
So that award is that photo we have of
it
you
is
for our promo photo.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So I
It's a very
protected
Grammy.
It
Not
is.
Grammy. They give you like platinum stuff
Yeah,
for like
yeah, your records, yeah.
Like
platinum
producer
and
album
stuff like that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and at that point, all I realized was that all I thought it was flights to LA and tickets to the Grammys. I didn't realize I had accommodation and spending money, and I could bring someone with me. So when I went backstage, then I actually got told to the extent of what the prize was, and then I just lost it even more.
Yeah.
And then we sang our song as like a group, and that was just amazing, because then all the nerves were gone, and it was like, okay, we're not competing against each other, we're all friends again. So that was cool. I don't think anyone else stopped being friends with me. I just went into competition mode, and
You just won the
That's it.
competition. That's all.
That's it.
because
Yeah.
Congratulations.
thank you. I wasn't competitive anymore because
Yeah.
I'd wanted to. No, I was very, very, very blessed, and I'm stoked. It was amazing.
And so, what were the Grammys like then as well?
Yeah, that was unreal.
Did you get to walk the red carpet?
No, sadly
No.
not.
You went through like the normal door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Did
pleb
you see
door.
anyone?
I
at all?
did. I saw a lot of people from afar. They're like this big.
Yeah.
So the day of the Grammys, it was actually quite sad, because that was the day that Kobe died.
Yeah.
And within I don't know, half an hour to an hour, they had completely remodeled downtown. They had his photo everywhere on all the buildings, all the billboards. So it was quite a sad day going into it. And I actually ended up taking my mom. I said, I can't not take my mom, who's been there by my side every competition growing up. She's got to come with. So we were kind of getting our makeup done, getting ready for the day, and I just see a few of these makeup artists just run out the back of the makeup shop, and they come back out, and they're all puffy eyes, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And they're like, oh, Kobe's just died. I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's really not good. That obviously they love their basketball over there, and so that kind of put a little bit of a downer on the day. But then when you got there, it was actually really beautiful, the way that they kind of basically said, like, this is for Kobe. Alicia Keys was the host, and she did a tribute. I think it was with Boyz II Men, if I'm not mistaken. And everyone, we had a moment of silence just before it all started. But what was so cool to see was kind of how they ushered everyone in. I mean, the stadium is massive, and we were in like these little high-rise seats, and I legitimately thought I was going to fall down onto the person in front of me. So they're like stacked, but it was just so cool. It was a day to really get dressed up, and we were getting our outfits and going shopping for the outfits, and they were like, oh, anyone in the dress shop was like, oh, where are you going? And we're like, oh, we're going to the Grammys, but we're just a little bit worried this is going to be too much. And they're like, you're going to the Grammys. It's not going to be too much. Like, yeah, like go bigger. Yeah. But it was just so much fun. I mean, going there and seeing the amount of talent that was there. There were so many different performers that were went up, and just the way that they kind of had like right down the bottom on the ground level. They had all the celebrities, all the performers, but nobody actually really kept their seat. You'd see, depending on who was performing, different people at the front or second row. And I remember Camila Cabello sang her song, I think it's called First Man, and all of a sudden her dad was sitting right at the front on the corner, and she went and walked down the stairs and was singing to him, and that was beautiful. So it was so amazing to see how it was all run, and I know one day I'm going to be down there with all the
one day.
Well, celebrities, hopefully.
I just wanted to take a moment while we've got a little bit of a break here. We've got a few comments. It's not working on my OBS at the moment. So, Vicky Ferrito. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to say last names. Let's just go with first names. Says, good job, Max. Sharon's here as well. Says
That's
hello.
Mum.
Hi, Mum. Brittany's here as well. Yeah, Maxine, that's my big sister. Beyonce in the making. Bonnie's here as well. My God, I used to love Vanessa Amorosi. This is when we were talking about Amorosi. Yeah. I auditioned for a lead role in my Absolutely Everybody. In my song. What? Oh, I missed the whole line here. Sorry. Primary school choir with the same song, Absolutely Everybody. Didn't get the part. She was an icon. Remember her singing the Sydney Olympics.
Yeah.
Sophie, how are you going?
That's my friend.
And Elizabeth.
That's one of the girls I used to work with.
Shout out to all the comments.
Thanks, guys.
So Burswood and stuff like that. Like, how did you get into that and everything?
So that was done through school. When John Curtin would do a day, like performances and events, they would generally pick one or two people to represent the school, and I was lucky enough to be one of the people that they selected. So this was back when the Dome was still there, so years ago. It probably would have been about 2011 or so, or 2012.
The Dome?
Burswood Dome. So
the Burswood Dome. Yep.
Yeah, so a while back now, but that was when I was being taught by the contemporary jazz vocal coach. So very much kind of coming into my own, figuring out how I wanted to sing, how I wanted to sound. And she goes, look, you're singing at the Dome, just go big or go home. What song are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And there was no doubt in my mind what song. And I thought, let's do it. So I did Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You.
Okay.
Which is...
That's a big song.
That's a ballad.
And everyone knows it.
Yeah.
So they'll know. If you stuff it, they'll know it. So that was very much playing on my mind as I went in. But I thought, you know what? You live once. Just go. Have fun. Do it. And what was so amazing is that they kind of had moved all of the big red curtains forward to the front of the stage. So it just had this little kind of like semicircle that you had the mic in, and that was it.
Yep.
And because all the stage lights were on me, I actually couldn't see the audience. So I felt like I was just in my living room, in my car.
Singing to the mirror or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's great.
It really calmed my nerves, and I sang, I gave it my everything. I think I did well, and all of a sudden the lights just go back to it, and I actually see how many people are there, and then I go,
oh wow.
Yeah. But probably the most spine-chilling moment I've ever had was so the start of that song I did a cappella, so no music, nothing. So it was very much like, I really hope I hit the notes at the right time, because when the music starts, I have to be at the same point. And I did. I managed to get it on time. And as I started singing the first part of the chorus, so and I, everyone started applauding, and it was just a goosebump moment for me. I don't think I'll ever forget it. Yeah. So I'm like even getting them now. So that was just probably one of the best moments of my life, is just hearing that applaud as I started singing, and that was just something that's just kind of stayed with me.
Speaking about the nerves, did they train you or teach you ways of how to deal with nerves going onto stage and stuff like that? Because I can imagine there's probably a
Breathing.
lot of singers out there who've got really good voices, but are probably like socially anxious or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm even now I'm very nervous
Yeah.
because I know I'm going to sing and I know I'm the first live one here, so I'm really nervous.
Yeah.
But look, sadly, there are people who don't sing because their nerves do get the better of them.
Yeah. There's so much talent that just goes under the radar.
It's
And
insane.
it's ridiculous because it's like I refer to this like almost every third episode, where it's like, you know, with DJing or music or, you know, singing or instruments or anything at all, being a musician, you have to be a graphic designer, a video editor, you have to know how to do promo, marketing, the whole lot. Because unless you actually push yourself, well, then people can't find you.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's the biggest thing, unfortunately, in today's day and age. It's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
You have to be heard by the right person at the right time.
Yeah, you have to be lucky sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I suppose the lesson in that is just get yourself out there wherever and whenever you can. If there is an opportunity, do it. If you're nervous, just do it.
That's it. Well, if you don't try, you won't know.
Exactly. And you don't know who's listening. You don't know who's there. You don't know who's in the room, and you don't know what connections they have. And sometimes it'll be the most unassuming person who has the most unbelievable connection. So
I just wanted to line this up as well.
Oh yeah, here we go, Mitch.
Because we were talking about stage fright, but there's this little kid, and I just thought we could speak over. It's only a minute and a half. We can speak over the top of it. Let's turn her up. Now?
Oh, you can't see it, Mitch. There you
It's
go.
all good.
Happy birthday.
What do you tell someone with nerves like this?
It'll be alright. Just wait till you're older. Like, what can you say?
Happy birthday.
Oh, the poor kid.
oh,
He just can't do it.
he's gonna be scarred. This is gonna have done damage. No.
But see, the thing is, though, he might have done
can't,
that,
guys.
and then after 6 months later or something like that, he might have just had the revelation where you can be like, wait a minute, I've already, because I always say as well, it's like if you throw yourself in the deep end and you've experienced something,
Yeah.
the next time you do it won't be
It's
as
never
bad.
as bad, yeah.
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 And so that's what I mean. That kid probably was just like, oh, I can do
Either
happy birthday.
that,
I just
or he
realised I
was
had
that
that.
badly scarred he didn't even get the microphone the
That's
second
it.
time round.
Yeah. Have you ever had like anxiety when it comes to stuff like that to an extent? Because I mean, like, you know, we were saying with butterflies and stuff like that, but have you ever had like something go wrong where
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've had it where your voice will crack in a way mid-song, and it sucks, and you'll never know when it's going to happen, or it'll happen and you're like, oh, you know, I've just got to work through it. It's life. It does happen. I mean, from a nerves point of view, I've always had a lot of nerves going in because I think I'm my own biggest critic. I think everyone is. Everyone's
Yeah.
their own biggest critic, you know. So some people will walk away. Somebody will do a dance and you'll say, that was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. But they know that they've done it in rehearsal way better. So yeah, you'll always be your own biggest critic. So I think that's
one thing I always try and tell people as well, and tell my guests and stuff like that. It's like, if you do a good job and then someone comes up to you and says, oh my God, you were so good and you did this and you did that. And then you're like, oh no, but I've done it better, or nah, this wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Well, then the next time they rock up to see your gig, then they'll be like, well, last time apparently it wasn't as good. I want to see something better.
Yeah.
And then the stress is reapplied again, because then it's like, well, you know, I've seen you doing what is not, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get what
And
I mean.
I think with any talent, anyone who is gifted to have any sort of talent, I think what is very, very, very important in a value in someone is being humble. Something that my granddad always said to me. He goes, it doesn't matter how good you are, always be humble, always say thank you, always be genuinely appreciative, because some other people might not have that talent, and it might be jealousy, it might be just general admiration for the gift that you have been blessed with. And he always said to me, make sure that you stay humble and make sure that you very much understand that it is a gift and it's not to be taken lightly. So I must say
I
thank you
100%
for
agree with that. You have to be humble,
Yeah.
especially in the hospitality, nightlife, everything.
You can also get yourself into situations you don't want. Like,
That's it.
you start talking yourself up on subjects you don't really know that well, and suddenly someone turns around and goes, I'm a sound engineer, actually. Everything you said is wrong, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could turn around and say, yep, I'm better than Christina. And then all of a sudden people have got this kind of preconceived idea that I'm going to be far better than Christina. I'll go and sing and they go, well, no, you're not, you know? So yeah, absolutely agree. You can't talk yourself up too much. Ever.
For sure. I think so.
Yes.
What's up?
So you've done Las Vegas, you've been to the Burswood Dome and stuff like that. Have you done anything else as well at all?
So I've done a few gigs just here and there, whether or not it be like birthdays, a few restaurants I've been lucky enough to sing at. So just general, background music. So while people are having dinner, I'll do a few songs here and there.
Whereabouts have you done the restaurants and stuff?
So there are a few restaurants in Hillary's that I've done, restaurants that I've done for Christmas Eves out in the Swan Valley.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it has just been all like through social connections and just, word of mouth. So
Have you worked with any live bands?
not in a live performance
Sense, yeah.
setting, no, but obviously, in school. So when we did any of our choirs, because it was a performing arts school, it wasn't just vocal, it was trumpet, saxophone, double bass, guitar, everything like that. We were our own band. So yeah, I have worked with bands, but more in a choir setting, not in a solo or like very small band.
Yeah.
Love to though. I'd love to find a really good guitarist to do gigs with and jam with. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think the next evolution is moving on to a live band, don't you think? Yeah, I'm excited to see that, but I think in the meantime maybe we should move on to the live performance.
Well, just quickly as well, before we go on live performance, how far would you want to push, like professionally and stuff like that? Like,
yeah, it's what I want to do. It is what I want to do. I love working hard. I love the chase of success, and what is success? I don't know. What I value and what I think of success being is having made a difference in someone's life, and that to me, I believe I can potentially do that through song, and that's what I want to be able to do. Whether or not that's being somebody who just sings in restaurants or somebody who performs live on stage, Beyonce, Christina, Aretha, whoever it is, they've made impacts or kind of impressions on people, and I think that'd be amazing.
Because I have basically the exact same opinion, but with DJing in a way. Because
Yeah.
it's like, I can go out and play for 6 hours, but if I make people smile and have a good time, well then at the end of the 6 hours, I'm like, it doesn't. I had fun.
And music is an international language.
It is.
A beat, a rhythm, a song, a melody, doesn't matter what language you are, what color you are, what race, what religion, it's a universal language. And I think that's something that really can bring the world together. So why wouldn't we push to have that in our
My friends got me into Japanese jazz at the moment.
Japanese.
So it's all like Japanese. I can't understand a word of it, but it sounds cool, and I feel cool listening to it.
Yeah,
So.
Japanese jazz.
Yeah, exactly. Who else do you know listens to smooth Japanese
Is it like
jazz?
cowboy bebop jazz? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
You've probably never seen cowboy bebop.
I don't know. It's like airy fairy stuff. That's the best I can describe it. It's like it's not quite hip hop. It's like I don't know
so
how to
it's
explain
hip-hop
it.
jazz now.
I don't know. It's like
we started at Japanese jazz.
Yeah, and now we've gone
What's
to
that,
hip-hop jazz.
What's that? I've drawn a mental blank. I can't remember what it is. It's like that new stuff they're making out of like 80s and 90s synthwave.
Synth what?
Vaporwave. That's the one.
Vaporwave.
It's like vaporwave, but they call it Japanese hip hop. That's what I was trying to get at. That whole
loop.
That whole loop was just
that
I
very
loved-
niche genre.
very
niche.
sorry. I should just shut up.
So we should move on to the live performance, maybe.
Yeah. I think we should get. Ooh, I'm white today. Yeah.
Oh, are you now, Mitch?
Do you want to tell us what song you're going to be performing?
So I'm going to be singing one of the songs which I think is safe to say is by an artist who has inspired and molded a lot of people's lives. It is the infamous Michael Jackson. I'm going to be singing Rock With You.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace.
Please, Papa
King
Facebook,
of
do
pop.
not copyright us. All right. Let's get you set up over here.
Alrighty.
Alex, keep the audience entertained.
Oh, how am I gonna do that? I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm so tired, guys. Just gonna whinge. Whilst Mitch is casually just moving the cameras around, doing his thing. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, please. Otherwise, Mitch is gonna beat me up. He always does it. It's bad. It's like we're supposed to be partners in this, but we're not. We're kind of partners, but you know he gets violent sometimes. Just adjusting the brightness. So this is our new corner. Our corner for acoustic acts and live performances and stuff like that. And hopefully we'll be getting quite a lot more live acts to come on.
Alex, you're doing a great
Yeah,
job.
thank you. quite a few more live acts coming on in the near future to do live performances.
All right.
Super excited.
Guys, again, if this sounds bad, this is my fault. Because we're having problems with like syncing the audio up and stuff, but
Took us
hopefully it
20
sounds
minutes.
good.
Wait, what?
We're live now, so this is the run we're doing. So
Yeah.
all right,
Here we go, guys.
Here we go. Boo. What did I do with that sound? Here we go.
Boy, close your eyes. Let that rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. 'Cause when you feel that beat, and we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into sunlight, rock with you all night. We're gonna rock the night away. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there but us. Boy, when you dance, there's a magic that must be love. Just take it slow, yeah. We've got so far to go. 'Cause when you feel that beat, and we're gonna ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night, dance you into sunlight, rock with you all night. We're gonna rock the night away. And when the groove is dead and gone, yeah, you know that love survives, so we can rock forever. No. Hey, woo! I wanna rock with you. I wanna groove with you all night. Yeah. I wanna rock with you. I wanna groove with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. Rock all night. Rock the night away. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. Rock all night. Dance the night away. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. Rock with you all night. We're gonna rock the night away. I wanna rock with you
Mike's back on.
Mics are now back on. Wow.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Thanks for that one.
Thank you.
Right, that was really good. That's amazing. And the way you hit the notes like that as well, and the pitch and everything like that. Yeah, it's
thanks.
really, really good. I mean, I don't know much about singing, but yeah, that's really good.
Thank you.
So
That was good fun.
we've got like half an hour left, 20 minutes left, Mitch.
I don't know what you're asking me.
Oh, I don't know. Usually, yeah. So,
Yeah, we have half an hour left.
yes. I'm just a little bit stunned from that. Like that was, yeah.
I mean, that's the first time we've had a live performance.
Yeah, very first time ever. And yeah, it was really good.
Thanks. That was alright.
Yeah.
What was that part in like towards the end of the last verse? I think you did, or last chorus. You did like this little trill thing, like what is that called?
Vibrato.
Vibrato.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a vibrato and a falsetto?
Falsetto is in relation to where you're singing.
Okay.
So, like, generally it's more referred to in men. So, like, a guy's falsetto. So that's think about Usher. You know how he has that really high little falsetto that he does. That's a falsetto.
Okay.
In general terms, you have a lower register and an upper register, which is where I'll go which is in your head, but then I go, I wanna rock with you. That's the lower register.
Right.
So yeah.
Interesting. There's just like questions that I've got in the back of my mind from like hearing stuff about music, but not registering what that means. So yeah, that's helpful to know, I think. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
No, but there's so many different styles of singing and so many different vocal kind of like little tweaks that everyone has, you know. If you look at an opera singer, you look at a jazz singer, you look at someone like Tones and I, you look at someone like Usher, you look at someone like Beyonce, you have so many different
styles and everything.
styles, and that's just what I love about it. It's so good, and you can make everything your own.
Are you comfortable talking about the label that you were given when you were younger?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to talk about it in general terms because it's, you know, a bit of a topic at the moment with the BLM movement and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you want to give, in your own words, a bit of an overview of what that's about?
Yeah.
You can probably do it better justice than me trying to explain.
Oh,
it.
geez. Okay. So when I was kind of learning how to sing, I entered something called an ISTEDFord, which is basically just a singing competition. It is more technically critiqued though, so you'd actually have vocal coaches critiquing you, not just someone who's there to say, okay, which do I think was the better song on the day. And my sister and I actually used to do them, and my sister's 5 years younger than me, and she was always known as the little girl with the big voice.
Yep.
So she for her age and even throughout now, she is quite softly spoken in ways. There's other times which is definitely not. I love her, but when she was growing up, and specifically in the singing world, she was known as the little girl with the big voice. When I was growing up, I was finding my voice. I was learning those techniques of how to aspire to be who it was that I looked up to, whether that was Whitney, that was Christina, Beyonce, Aretha. And with a few of them, there's a common...
Lots of big vocals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and basically... I have to be... this is with absolutely no disrespect. It's simply a quotation. I got the nickname... or I basically got told I was the white girl with the black mama inside me. So that's, with all due respect, that was nothing meant in a bad way there.
So how old were you back then when you were when this was going off?
From, I'd say 10, 11,
Right.
give or take. So
Quite young.
yeah, you're starting to come into your own, and I started doing like big power ballads. So I do things like Listen by Beyonce, which is from Dreamgirls, which is a very, very, very big powerhouse song. I tackle the Christinas, I tackle the Whitneys, I tackle the Arethas, the Etta James, like the big like icons. And a lot of the time, obviously, somebody just walks on stage, you're not expecting them to try a song like that. Whether or not they do it well or not, you're not generally expecting somebody to actually try it. And then luckily I would train, I'd practice extensively, and I sometimes I would do quite well, and I would get people come up, and it was a common thing. I was like, wow, it's like, you know, you've got a black woman inside you, and it's like, oh wow, so which I thought was actually a huge compliment, because I mean every single
to be compared to like Aretha Franklin.
It's
that's essentially what it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was obviously anything.
Yeah, obviously it was
racist about it.
Exactly, it was just a lot of the big icons are like women of color. So it was a massive compliment to me. So I was very happy about that.
Have you felt like you've been trying to get away from that idea, or have you sort of dived into that a bit deeper?
No, I think it's an amazing compliment, because I know that not a lot of people have that talent and that ability.
Yep.
So if I can learn that, that's awesome. And I think a lot of the singers that I look up to are bigger songs. I love Michael Jackson. I love his stuff. I love just someone on the radio, like anyone who's playing at the moment. You know, I love just all general types of music, but for singing purposes, I really like to challenge myself, and I feel like that's one of the things that I sometimes struggle with. So doing those big, strong power songs is something I really enjoy, and I think if you can pull it off, it's a massive achievement. So
Speaking of, like, you obviously feel in the zone when you're doing like big power ballads and stuff like that. We were talking obviously before about you doing high registry stuff. What's the hardest song that you've mastered or been able to perform properly?
So that's actually a very easy question. So it's Listen by Beyonce, as I said, which is from Dreamgirls. So my mom's my biggest fan, and she's actually probably at home at the moment screaming to her phone. She is my biggest fan, and she is also someone who I trust and will take her opinion. She has a very good ear for music. Obviously, she's grown up with 3 kids who sing, and all with different types of voices. So she has that real variety. So when I went to her and I said, "Oh, Mom, I've seen this movie. It's got a really cool song. I'd like to sing it. What do you like? Let me sing it for you and let me know what you think." Straight away, she was like, "No, not yet.
No.
Yes, but not yet." And I think I actually rehearsed that song for 3 years before I performed it for the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's not like a weird thing though.
No, like
I
practice
think
makes perfect.
Maybe not that duration. But I like to think I'm a perfectionist. So I want to make sure I'm 100% confident before I go sing something. So it definitely is common. If you are going to go perform, you want to make sure you know what you're doing, and you feel comfortable with the song, because you know that your nerves are going to come through on performance day. So rather just have to focus on the nerves, and then like the song like the back of your hand. So but I think the first time, or one of the early times that I performed that song, was for Anna Stedford, and I had.
Do they like make you do like choreographed dances at the Stedford?
No. Stedford's a more referring to voice.
Yeah.
So you have like dance competitions, but Stedford is
that the Rocker
strictly.
Stedford?
Sorry.
Is that the Rocker Stedford in Perth?
Oh, it's just any. So you'd have like little school ones. You'd have.
Okay, I guess that's a word then. I thought it was just the name of the Rocker Stedford.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask what's on the Stedford.
But it's basically another word for like music competition, really. Yeah. Whether or not music, I kind
of got that by the end of what you guys are saying. So, that's a interesting.
The closest word. English equivalent to Eisteddfod is season. The word is formed from 2 Welsh morphemes: Eistedd meaning sit and fod meaning be.
Okay, that's got nothing to do with music.
The term Eisteddfod is used for certain types of performing arts competitions that have nothing to do with the Welsh culture.
There you go.
Yep, there you go.
That's like a little disclaimer there at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first time, or one of the early times I performed that song, I did it for Anna Stedford, and it wasn't a cappella, but I didn't do it with any microphone. So I said, it's not only judge you on your ability to hit every note, it judges you on the delivery of that note, on
really,
the projection.
Like how loud?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so if you slide into the note, or if you hit the note nice and cleanly, if you project it when it's called for, or when you hold it back when it's needed. So that's basically, it is a technical competition, and I was so happy to say I actually ended up getting 100% on it. So that was a huge. So
you're quite the competition winner then.
Not competitive, but
competitive.
I like to win.
Yeah.
So then,
I'm pretty sure that's the same thing, but
Slightly different.
with it getting marked then, because like what you were saying, like the projection and like hitting certain notes, would that just be like out of 15, out of 20? Like, would there be certain? Have you ever seen any of the marking sheets?
I've seen some of the marking sheets, but that was just. That wasn't of anything of great scale. It was a school at Stedford. It was for music schools, but it was a school at Stedford nonetheless.
Yeah.
I think they generally will do like a certain point system, and obviously it's going to be based on opinion. So whoever the judge is, if they think I delivered that note perfectly, then cool, I'll get a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10, whatever the range may be. So to answer your question specifically, no, I don't know exactly what the marking system would be.
Yeah, that's all right then. Well, there was multiple judges though as well? Or was it just,
So that one, I think there were 3.
Yeah, because that'd be a little bit unfair only having one guy.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's definitely a matter of opinion. Yeah, I think off the top, it was either 2 or 3. It was a while back. But yeah, that was awesome.
So where would you want to go for future wise? Like, what type of gigs would you want to try and get to be able to like move towards?
Where's the future going for you?
Yeah, because I mean you are professional because you've already done quite a few things, but then would you want to get like regular work doing it again?
Yeah. So going back to that, any exposure is good exposure, really. Getting yourself out there, whether that be at a restaurant, whether that be on a stage, whether that be on the street, busking, just to get yourself out there, really. I have just started a new job, so I am trying to make sure I can pay my bills. And as I said, I love working. I love the hustle. So doing both is...
A lot of, like, with music and the arts in general, there's like 2 paths you can take to make a career out of it. And the first path is to just sink everything into it, live like a bohemian, like a no money, and do it that way with
quit
a huge
your job
amount
and
of
do nothing
grind.
else.
Or you can get a job, work 9 to 5, and then do it in your free time.
Exactly.
And that's what I think a lot of people are doing nowadays.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I personally don't have the financial position to just stop everything I'm doing and really, as you say, bite your teeth into it. And recording's expensive, so like different studios will work on different rates. But I think the cheapest I've ever seen a recording studio was $60 for an hour, and you'll be lucky if you get a chorus in that. In that time, you'll be lucky if you can record a decent chorus. Then you've got to go through and you've got to do the mixing and making sure that it's all okay.
I would just recommend people buy a microphone and an interface and some sort of like you can buy these like sound deadening things. And like you'd end up spending like $1,000, but at the end of the day, that's probably how much you'd spend on recording one song. So.
To give you an example of perfectionist, yes, but Whitney Houston spent 2 weeks recording "I'll Always Love You." Or was it 6 weeks? It was a very, very, very long time. But whereas a lot of people would come into the studio one day and say, okay, I'm just going to do the chorus today. I'm going to nail that chorus. I'm going to nail the 2 different choruses in it because one chorus has a higher note, one chorus has a lower note. But if they get one of the lines right and that line is the same in the next chorus, they'll just copy and paste the line. So that definitely helps. So it's a lot different to like any sort of live performance. But yeah, like it is expensive. I think the cheapest one I've seen, as I said, was like around $80, and then you've got to get everything done on top of that. Yeah. Then if you think it sounds good, but the mixer doesn't think it sounds good, and vice versa, then you're sat, and that's time and money as well. So then it's getting that out to the right person. So I mean, I've recorded CDs, but haven't managed to get it into the right person's hands yet.
Have you recorded originals?
I do have 2 originals.
Right.
They were written for me. I was lucky enough to be flown over to LA, and I did a few performances there. I did a music video, which was very interesting, being on the other end, like on the judging side of things. And unfortunately, like with The Voice, the like the TV show, it's so that you're not based on looks. It's you spin if you like the voice, but unfortunately, going on the other end of it, it's definitely is that person what I'm looking for in my music video, because it's a very visual thing. So
that's the thing,
because it can come down to image sometimes.
It is, and unfortunately, that is definitely the case.
I've always had the opinion with creative and artistic people, when you go out and hire someone, you're not hiring them to do what you want. You're hiring them because you like their work. Whether they're a singer or a painter or DJ or whatever. And the sooner we get out of the mentality of, like, I'm going to hire a DJ and then I'm going to tell the DJ what to DJ, or I'm going to hire a singer and you're going to have to sing these songs or whatever. Like, just find the right singer.
And let them,
go
let them
ahead
have
and
their
do what you
artistic
want.
license.
And then you'll get a much better performance and a better show out of it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it does come down to like being able to be comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, if you're comfortable with doing what you're doing, well, then you're more relaxed. Then you can actually do it.
And generally, you'll deliver a better performance.
Exactly.
As well. Yeah.
Whilst if you do something out of your comfort zone, you're like, oh shit, oh, I have to do this, do that, oh.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then more prone to stuff ups and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, I think there are like different people that react differently to different situations.
Well, not everyone's the same.
Yeah, just take it in your stride and know where your strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie. Work on your weaknesses and make sure that you keep on top of your strengths.
Yep.
Mitch's
like
life advice.
Didn't you just say like what was the saying you just said? If you stop singing, you lose it.
If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
If you don't lose it, you use
it's
it.
like with anything, I suppose.
No, if you don't use it, you lose it. If
you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, but you said if you lose it, you use it. That's what you said just before.
If you don't use it, you'll lose
yeah,
it.
that's it.
How about we stop listening to me because we've already come to the conclusion that I'm not operating at 100%.
I don't think it's like you're the only like awake person here at the moment. I partied too hard, and Mitch is just
I'm just
hasn't had
constantly
sleep?
tired because
No,
I never sleep. So
Well,
Yeah.
you guys can't see this, but the amount of cords and wires in this place, I'm surprised that where's going what, and what's going where.
it's
I mean, it's not bad. Like, it's pretty simple.
it's chaos,
and-
but I know where
yeah,
everything
It's
is.
organized chaos, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. See what I mean? I'm not at 100%.
Yeah, it's all just practice though. It's like just figuring out where things go and then what you have to buy. And
I'd be interested in like doing a challenge one day where I see if I can teach myself how to sing. I know I can't sing. There is absolutely no way.
you got to sing it on the podcast though.
Well, this
Okay, you're gonna have to sing on the podcast, and
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do your scales on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
How do we change
deal?
places? Like, we were talking before. I was gonna get him to sing your song
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
Yeah, he wanted me to
like
actually
just
try
a couple of lines,
But
and then
me
be like,
to do it first, then you do it, kind of thing. It's like-
Comparison.
it'll
Who
be
did it
funny,
better? You
and
definitely
it will
would've won
make
it.
Maxine look better.
Yeah.
Nah, I reckon he'll give me a good run for my money.
Oh damn! Like,
Oh,
I mean, I've
I
got a
think
pretty
you're
low
being very
voice, you know.
generous there.
Yeah, see, he can get those real baritone notes. I just can't get them. So
Yep.
I can get a broken voice. I'm really good at that one.
great, yeah.
I'm also really good at like sounding like I'm being strangled.
Yep. Yeah, that is a talent.
Being dragged on the ground by my neck.
Look, not a lot of people can say they can do that.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You can,
Like,
you
if
can
you
put
want to
that-
hire me for sound
you can put
effects,
it on
I'm
your
great.
resume.
Yeah. I'm just a DJ and a podcast producer. Let's be honest. I can't sing, but it would be cool to see like how far I could come. I know someone did that on the radio once. Like one of the big radio hosts.
Yeah.
They did like a 1 month thing where they like did lessons
Taught
to see if
themselves how to sing.
how
There you
good they could
go.
get themselves to sing. And like I noticed quite a change. So.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's not hard. It's like honestly, to a point, it's like riding a bike.
Mm.
You know, you're gonna eventually find
I
your
can
way.
imagine it's a good like confidence booster too because.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it is good.
I was talking to Alex before, like this. As soon as I mentioned like you're singing on the podcast, like it was a recoil. Like
Yeah, that was pretty
straight.
funny. Yeah. Last
Really?
week, and like Mitch is actually I've never seen him stutter and say so many ums and ahs, like sitting right here. Whilst I'm just like casual about it, and on camera,
Yeah, well, I think I did a good job for my first time.
you
hosting.
did
Yeah.
an excellent
Yeah.
job.
Did you watch the podcast?
yeah, I
The one
do.
where
Yeah,
I was
see?
hosting? I'm sorry.
Remember what I said.
I
Don't
tried.
apologize. If you apologize, the next time.
It's gonna.
Well, there won't be. There won't
Then
be. A next time.
Maxine's
I'm the
gonna
guy that
expect
sits
more.
behind the computer. All right.
No.
All right, so we've got 10 minutes left, or like 7-8 minutes left.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to plug? Any upcoming gigs or anything you want to?
Not any upcoming gigs at the minute. Just because as I'm starting my new job.
Is there a place to find your music online?
Yeah.
Your songs.
So you can just go to my Instagram. It's just Maxine Hamilton 123.
Yep.
Very original.
Would you like me to link your Instagram?
Yeah, sure.
Is it your personal Instagram?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't then, but she just said it. If you want to find her, go and find her.
I do. So I do have that music video that I did on YouTube. So that the song's called "Believe In," basically saying we all need something to believe in. That was recorded back in 2016, which I was probably close to around 20 kilos bigger than what I am now. So I do look a little different. I also sound a little different, obviously.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I do, obviously as you grow, your voice changes and things like that. So it is a older music video. I'd love to be able to actually get a few updated ones out there, and I'd love to be able to write music. I think that'd be amazing.
Let me know.
Yeah, that's just not a talent I
I'm
have.
a professional videographer, and I've done about probably 40 music videos.
Oh,
so
there you go. All right,
you go.
I know where to find you. Easy.
Yep.
Now, just anyone, do you write music?
I've tried.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, I can't help you with the music side of things.
But I
Damn.
tried to produce for like 3-4 years, and I could not get anywhere with it. Unfortunately, I learned the whole program back to front.
At least
and-
you dabbled.
I dabbled. I spent
Some-
like
like,
$400
it's not for
worth of
everybody,
equipment
right?
and everything. And,
Yeah.
and it's all in here now. So,
Well, at least it didn't fully go to waste.
no,
used
$400 did, but yeah.
Oh, don't think about it like that way.
Yeah, it's still like it's cool aesthetic stuff though. Having like a keyboard in your room and
Do
stuff.
you still have a license
License for what?
for whatever you bought?
Producing?
Was
yeah.
it Fruity Loops?
Yes, I have a license for it.
Okay. Okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah, don't say that loud.
Legal disclaimer.
Yep.
Yep.
We all have licenses for everything we are using in here.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So. All right, Mitch. You're giving me that look.
You don't have to force it if you don't want to.
Force what?
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 Huh? Should we? Okay.
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Let's
anymore.
wrap it up. That's what I was gonna say. So thank you so
Awesome.
much, Max.
No, that's okay. Thank you for having me.
Right,
It was
thank
a
you
really
so
good
much
time.
for being our first. So
Live
tired. I
performance,
lost
yeah.
my words there.
Yep.
God, bloody hell.
Hopefully it went down all right. Hey,
No,
actually,
it looked. It
let's
looked
give another
good.
check to the comments and see what's happening over here. Aaron's here. David's here. Fiona's here again. And Shona's here. Hi, Shona.
Aaron's my partner.
Ah, hi, Aaron.
So he's
Shout out.
questionably also my #1 fan.
Oh.
Questionably.
Well, I reckon it's a close par with my mom.
Okay.
Oh.
My mom's like my height. So I'm 167 centimeters. My partner's 191. But my mom's African, so you know she'll give him a run for his money in terms of pole position on #1 fan. But yeah.
How long have you been here in Perth now? Then.
How old am I? I'm 24. So I moved over to Sydney when I was 3. I was there for 2 years and then moved here.
Oh, okay.
Most of my life, yeah.
So yeah, you're basically Australian then.
Yeah.
A Perthy. Yep.
But we do like to hold it against my sister that she's the only one in our family that was actually born here.
Yep.
We were all born over in South Africa.
I do like. There are hints of the South African accent.
There's twangs, and
Yeah.
it's only every now and again that it'll come out. My partner Aaron always says that whenever I speak to my mom or if I've had a few drinks, I kind of just default back to factory settings, and it comes straight out.
I think that's the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alcohol
Like-
always
Yeah.
brings it out.
Australians get more like ochre as well.
I get
And they get-
very Aussie.
Yeah.
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 I get very Aussie.
That's pretty much a common thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks
for
guys.
coming on.
It's
Thank
been
you.
really fun.
And
Thank
letting me
you.
test out like this new
I
setup.
hope it
on
sounded
here.
alright.
We'll
Thanks for
find
letting
out.
me
We
be the
don't
guinea
know
pig.
until it's over. So.
And apologies for me and Mitch being half awake, unfortunately. It's just big weekends and partying and this and that. But
It won't happen again, will it, Alex?
I hope not. I have to just try and go to bed at a reasonable hour instead of
Constantly
4 a.m. on a
threatening
Monday.
His life
Yeah.
when he makes mistakes. So.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
keep on
it.
top of
Always threatening me. So don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. He's going to threaten my life again.
Thanks guys.
There we go.
Thank you, Max. All right, this is episode 47, and next week I think we have Ben Nicholson coming on,
Hey.
and somewhere in between there we have Charlie Pope coming on as well to do another episode.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a bonus episode with Charlie.
Yeah, because she's our second guest ever coming back on the podcast. Well, our first guest coming back on for a second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
We got it, Alex.
Yeah,
there
got
again.
it. I got it.
We'll be doing a special episode with Charlie. I think I'm going to call it Infrared Podcast Up Late with Charlie Pope. It's going to be a little bit different.
Not copying off Slims at all, or
No.
no Slims up late.
We won't talk about it. But
Well, they're
that's
a
what we're going
nightclub.
to call
We're a
it.
podcast.
And it's going to be a bit different. It'll be not live. It'll be aired probably on a Friday night. I'm not sure if it's going to be this Friday or next Friday. It depends when we can schedule her in. But yeah,
Yeah.
look out for next Tuesday's live show as well.
Yep.
Tuesday, 6:30.
All right, thanks guys for watching, and we shall see you next week.
Thanks.
Catcha.